Rutgers beats Monmouth and Ace Bailey is back. It was a sight to see Ace Bailey on the court as Rutgers won 98-81 at Jersey Mike's Arena, the Rack as they call it, marking their third straight win of the year, now 3-0 on the year. The crowd support was fantastic. Always love watching these games and seeing the crowd get into it so much, and just how much these Rutgers students love their basketball team, love their arena, just love everything about it. The starting lineup changed. Jeremiah Williams was sidelined due to a shoulder injury, and Ace Bailey started for the first time this season. Bailey made a quick impact, scoring a three-pointer with just 27 seconds into the game, finishing the first half with solid stats, and it was a sight to see with Ace Bailey. To end the first half, Ace Bailey had 11 points on 4 for 7 shooting. That three-pointer I mentioned, he was 1 for 1, 2 defensive rebounds, 2 rebounds overall. No assists, no fouls. He did have 2 turnovers, but a block and 2 steals. And let's just say everybody was really glad to see Ace Bailey out there doing what he is able to do. It was just plain fun to watch him out there playing the game and doing so well. He is a player that just he pops out every single time you watch. Not to mention because of the Monmouth team, which was respectable tonight. I mean, they did score 81 on Rutgers. I'm not going to say they weren't, but this was definitely a team where they did not have anywhere near the athleticism, the height, the size of somebody like Ace Bailey and what he was able to do. Dylan Harper, once again, he commanded the game. His presence at point guard is huge for this team. He allowed Rutgers to push the tempo, distribute the ball effectively. I mean, this combo of Harper and Bailey, if anybody was questioning it at the beginning of the year, they are not going to have a good take at the end of the year. Now, we still have to see it against better competition, but so far, these two working together, playing together, it's fantastic. Somebody else that played really well, because you always talk about the big two, right? But somebody else who played really well was Zack Martini. He had some really good defense in this game. Martini transitioning from a big man role at Princeton, took on guarding smaller players like Monmouth's Jack Collins, and showed solid perimeter defense out there as well. We know Steve Pikiell is always going to be known for his defense and getting so much defense out of his guys, and Pikiell was very complimentary of Martini's ability to guard multiple positions and highlighted how Martini's leadership on the floor helps Rutgers stay versatile, and that's huge. You were looking for this Rutgers team to have some kind of leadership, something that they could bring to the table. With two freshmen, they're going to bring talent, they're going to bring size, ability. I mean, they're going to bring all that stuff, but you needed a leader, and it sounds like Zack Martini is really stepping up as the leader for this team. That's what you want. That's what you need to see from them. In the second half, I mean, just more playmaking from Dylan Harper. Early in the second half, Harper blocked a shot, led a fast break, and then dished multiple assists, including highlight reel passes to Bailey. I mean, to see these two working together, this is everything. If you're just a hoops junkie and you love to see young players play together, this is everything you wanted to see. If you're an NBA scout, you want to watch as many of these Rutgers games as you can to see how these guys work together. Harper is just a true floor general out there. He has the ability to find his teammates in transition, to run the offense. I can't say enough good things about Harper and what he is able to do. Martini, he continues to shine as well. I mentioned his defensive side, but he also remained aggressive on both ends, finishing with 18 points, and a lot of his defense kind of led to those situations. When you saw really good defense for Martini, you would see him be rewarded on the offensive end by getting him the ball. And there are just some players that do a very good job of playing that way, where they're good on defense, they come down, they make a play on offense, and Martini seems to be one of those guys, at least in this game. He was. Despite a strong start, Monmouth stayed competitive, largely thanks to Abdid Bashir. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I watched this game mostly on mute, but he finished with 38 points in this game. I mean, just outstanding for somebody to come to Rutgers, and especially against a Steve Pikiell team who is so defensive minded, to score 38 points. Rutgers they allowed too many open looks. They were keeping the game closer than it should have been. And Pikiell emphasized the defensive breakdowns that were happening, expressing frustration over giving up 42 points in the first half. He also discussed missed opportunities to extend the lead, citing a few missed layups, tough calls at the rim, things like that. However, he appreciated how the team was able to regroup and be resilient. This is something that you want to see from a team that is led by talent from mostly young players. Are they going to be able to be resilient? Are they going to be able to work through the issues? And it's evident that they were able to do so in this one. Rutgers' performance overall, a lot of good things to take coming out of the performance. The offensive depth is there. Balanced scoring from key players. Ace Bailey had 17 points. Dylan Harper had 20 points. Zach Martini had 18 points. And then from there, you had PJ Hayes with 11 points off the bench. Somerville with 10 points off the bench as well. I mean, when you're looking at this team overall, it's not just going to be Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper scoring 40 each a night. They're going to get other players involved, and as the team or as the opponent picks up more on Bailey and Harper, it's going to open up the opportunity for other players, and those players made the most out of their opportunities in this one. Strong bench play, as I mentioned, from PJ Hayes. Jamichael Davis had 9 points as well. So you didn't have Williams in this one, but it was good that other guys were stepping up as well. We'll see if that continues against better teams. Pikiell noted how important the bench has been, signaling out Somerville and his back-to-back double-digit scoring games and mentioning how Harper's leadership continues to grow even in crunch time moments. He also appreciated Harper's ability to rebound and his defensive tenacity in the second half. Rutgers' performance on had some cons, though. I'm not going to act like everything was great. There were things that you would have liked to see better from. There was some defensive inconsistencies. As I mentioned, Bashir had 38 points in the game, and Pikiell was not pleased with the 42 points. If you listen to that press conference, he was very much so not pleased with the 42 points conceded in the first half, calling it uncharacteristic of Rutgers' typical defensive effort. They had missed opportunities to extend the lead. There were some missed layups, some questionable decision making that kept Monmouth's game longer than expected. Despite these mistakes, Rutgers they were continued able to show resilience and get through the game, and they did have some 3-point shooting woes. Rutgers went just 3 for 16 from behind the arc. Pikiell mentioned that the team still hasn't found its rhythm from 3-point range, but they compensated well by making 24 of 28 free throws. That is something you are going to find from a Pikiell team, not always the most highest percentage shooting 3-point team in the world, but a high shooting free throw shooting percentage team, which is good for them. Pikiell was clear about his disappointment in the team's defensive lapses, especially in the first half. He also addressed the missed layups and lack of 3-point shooting, but and encouraged how the team stepped up when it mattered most. Key player performances: Dylan Harper, all around performance, 20 points, 6 assists, his ability to control the ball, to control tempo. He himself had 2 blocks in this game, 6 for 6 on the free throw range, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. It was very good for them to see. Ace Bailey, again, super impressive. His debut showing confidence, 17 points. I mean, the early 3-pointer just kind of set the tone for everything with what he was able to do. He did leave the game late, heading to the locker room. It kind of raised some potential concerns with the injury, but I believe I saw him out there later on, even after that. So we'll see what happens there. But Ace Bailey, he's going to be one that you're going to be looking for. How's he feeling? Is he coming out of games? Is he holding something kind of like that situation? Zach Martini, mentioned him before, just an overall good game by him. Somerville, third straight double-digit scoring game, provided key minutes at the center spot, which this team needs to find a 5-man consistently for them. It's not that they don't have anybody who's capable. It's just they need to find out who that player is going to be consistently. And if that's going to be Somerville, he needs to improve on the boards with only 5 rebounds in 22 minutes. Just plain not going to get it done. Now you do have Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey out there making plays and getting rebounds. Bailey himself, like I said, had 6. Dylan Harper had 5. And another player, I can't believe I haven't mentioned him yet, Jordan Derrick. He had 5 rebounds and he had 9 assists in this game. Only 2 turnovers with 2 steals on top of that. So Pikiell repeatedly praised Harper for his growing leadership and playmaking, and Martini for his ability to guard multiple positions. He is especially proud of Somerville's development, noting his key contributions over the last few games. Clutch moments and clutch shooting, clutch streaking. It was really good. Rutgers' defensive stand came late in the game where they held Monmouth scoreless for the final 4 minutes and 30 seconds of the game, going on a 10-1 run to close it out. Key defensive plays from Jordan Derrick and others helped the Rutgers seal the victory. Ace Bailey, like I mentioned, he did leave the court late, and while his status is uncertain, the team is managed to dominate the final stretch without him. So we'll see what happens with Ace Bailey coming back, if he is going to be able to come back right away or if he's going to need more time off the court. Pikiell emphasized how proud he was of the team's defense in the final minutes, signaling out the team's ball pressure and rebounding effort that they were missing in the first half. He also praised the leadership of the team, like Martini and Harper, in critical moments, ensuring Rutgers didn't let the game slip away. A lot of good things to like from this game. Was a little bit closer than it should have been, so there's definitely some things to take away that they need to work on. But overall, Rutgers, strong performance, the offensive depth, the defensive improvements in the second half. Their next game is against Merrimack, and the importance of building in this momentum. They need to have some better defense off the second half that they had, but was much better there. And look for Rutgers to continue to grow as they work through some of these things. They have 2 young players that are going to be key players for them. They're going to need to continue to grow. They're going to need to continue to get better. And we'll see what they're really made of when we see them against a really good team. That's all I got for Rutgers. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it. Check us out on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock for our live show where we talk all of the Big Ten, not just Rutgers, not just one team, this team, but all of the Big Ten. We always talk about them in every single episode. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good one.